Okay. Okay. So, yes. Hey, hi, hello, and a very good evening to all our attendees and viewers who are watching us live on Facebook and YouTube. A very warm welcome to all this Saga series. A quick recap for those of you who are new to Pick a Book. Pick a Book is all about reading and more reading and inculcating the habit of reading, research, and presenting the summary of it in our regular meeting sessions. Creating a better world by changing the sense of self through the habit of reading is the vision of Pick a Book. Currently, Pick a Book marks its inspiring presence in four countries: Sri Lanka, India, Singapore, and UK, with over 1,200 plus readers, 18 plus regions, and 100,000 plus people inspired through sessions so far, all in just span of 1 year. So Pick a Book continues to spread its wings across the globe and has come up with this beautiful initiative called and a brand of its own called the Saga series, wherein the authors can reach their readers and individuals with like-minded interests. Authors can also discuss key insights of their books with the read, and readers can have this wonderful opportunity to know more about the book from the author herself. So today we have with us Prathiba with her wonderful book, Art of Cracking an Interview.
Thank you so
Hey,
much
hi
for
Prathiba.
having us here. Very good evening, everyone, and the viewers too. It's really nice to be here. Thank you for having us here, Swarna.
Thank you. So it's a pleasure to have you on the show. And ladies and gentlemen, to know more about Mrs. Prathiba Gupta, she has trained more than 7,000 professionals and entrepreneurs all over India in last 6 years and holds three international certifications. She is chosen as a mastermind leader at TLC with a vision to create world-class trainers and coaches. She is also a faculty at ICBI, a pan-India organization where she trains aspiring trainers. She has been widely interviewed on leading television channels as a successful entrepreneur. Also featured in international awards called um, Brand India Women in Business in 2021 for from GCPIT and CIM SME. Okay, okay. Her mission is to bring out the best in 1 million individuals in a span of next 5 years by discovering their hidden persona, which is sometimes enveloped by a shell, just like a pearl in an oyster. Very truly said, Pratibha. That's a beautiful introduction about you. Good to know that to have an entrepreneur as well as the author in the show tonight.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for that elaborate introduction of mine. It's really a pleasure to hear from you. Thank you.
Yes. So first of all, all from Pickbook team and the audience who are watching us live would like to congratulate you on this wonderful book, and we wish you a very long way in writing.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you once again.
Okay. So Pratibha, are you an avid reader?
Being on this show and saying it, I'm not really an avid reader. I would say that I would like to be. I would like to admit that further. Rather, I have cultivated this kind of a habit from last 5 years. Being in this profession, I cannot say that I cannot be an reader. But yes, I do not still think that I am an avid reader as such. But I'm proud to say I have cultivated this habit in my daughter, who's 10 years old, who
Mm,
reads one book per week. Literally, she can read even in 3 days if we given a time. But if not, if she'll complete in a week's time. So I think I'm
yeah.
slowly cultivating that habit of reading regularly because of the tight schedule and all those things. Because earlier days we were kind
Mm,
of conditioned in a day to I mean in a academics time. It's only reading the academic books. That's how
yes.
we were conditioned. I would say that for some reason. So it's
Exactly.
always I had oh my god, reading means pressure or stress or tension. That's how I used to relate it to it. But now, of course, my perspective has changed a lot. I'm getting into that stream, I can say that. Yeah. But I learned a
Yes.
lot through a lot of trainings. I'm a more of a kinesthetic person. So I learn
Mm,
through live trainings. I make sure I attend continuous lot of trainings and live shows where I get to more knowledge and absorb more knowledge with the videos and other things. That's how I'm, making sure I'm up to date at the same time too.
awesome. Beautiful. Okay. So when did this writer in you, kind of woke up? You ended your journey as a writer start.
Okay, that's an interesting question. I would say that actually, when though whatever how much ever I was to read, I used to feel that, oh my god, being an author is something, huge thing. I used to really admire those so-called authors, and oh my god, they can see, especially that happiness seeing your name on a book. Oh my
Yeah.
god, trust me, I felt I was on a cloud nine, or literally, I can say that when I got my graduation or did anything else, I didn't find that happiness. I can say that. So I
Mm,
feel that is where something I wanted to do this from a long time, from
mm,
like this kind of an excitement was there, but I never got a
mm.
chance for that matter. Rather, I should be thankful that this pandemic. I must say this. That is where I had ample amount of time sitting at home, and though the number of opportunities was less, and used to spend a lot of time at home. That is where I joined a community also, as you know, the TLC community,
Yes.
where
Yes.
they literally got that seed buried in me, and that I said, okay, I have to do that, and I was able to complete my book in a span of 5 months. Trust me, that's again a challenge, because I've heard people writing a book for 5 years, 10
Yes.
years, they're still going on and on and on. Yes, there is never perfectionism. If you keep waiting, I want to kind of publish my book in that particular way, that doesn't end ever. I'm sure, because we keep evolving and we keep feeling that we have to add on this. So I
True.
must be thankful for that, to giving me that wonderful platform where I could launch my book in a Goa conference from TLC, where that is the deadline made sure that I could complete within a span of 5 months. So yeah, that's how it's all
Wow.
started. You can say that.
Superb. Superb. That's a beautiful journey, Pratibha. Actually, see, there is nothing called perfection. I strongly believe it because uh, perfection is like very it's an outdated word, I would say. When we consider the scenarios, the changing scenario, especially, as and when we move on to the next level, the one which we did is not a perfectly done one. So we want to do it a much better way, and then just we cross ahead again, the same thing happens. So
So very well
it's
said. True, very true. Even
yeah,
now, if I have to go through my book, I'm scared. Where will I feel that I should have got this point? So literally, after publishing, haven't gone through my book. I must say that. So because it's always there, there is no end for it, to keep on
there's
adding,
no
keep
end
on
for it.
continuing. So we can always go for
Yeah,
next book of think of in that lines
exactly.
also, those lines also. So that's how I made sure I finished in 5 months. I feel that that's an accomplishment, because within 5 months of span of time, with my work, with the family around, doing all
Yeah.
those things, I woke up at 3 o'clock at times, literally, because that is when you can think really, instead of sitting and find out those things, what you want to
True.
really, put those words in the book. That's how I started my journey and completed successfully, I can say that.
Wonderful, wonderful, awesome,
Thank you.
great. So Neha, how did you come about writing this book? Related to cracking the interviews and and learning the art of it. So why did you choose this particularly? And then, yeah, when did you come across any challenges while choosing the title as well?
Absolutely, I'm sure. I think each one of us do get stuck there. Actually, to be honest, again, I started my book for entrepreneurs. Writing a book is a self therapy. I heard this earlier, but I never felt this. When I wrote my book, I could really feel that. Yes, it is. Actually, it helped me to even finalize my niche. Though I was working with entrepreneurs as well as with corporates, I was always juggling between these two kind of. The kind of. The audience, whom am I supposed to concentrate? I was not very sure. Although I was working, I was used to get all the opportunities from both the ends, so somehow I couldn't deny it, and I was going it with both the things. When I started writing book, that is where I realized I started writing the book in the name of art of cracking any deal. Can you believe that?
Oh,
For
okay.
any entrepreneur, that's like first impression. How do you give your best impression and make sure you crack the deal on the very first meet? That's what the idea I got in and started writing. But in the process, I realized that this is more closer to me, and that is where, because as a child or as an adolescent, I had faced a lot of interviews, and for one reason, though I was an average student in academics, I was very good at cracking interviews. I till now, if I remember rightly, I don't remember any interviews I had failed through, for that
Hmm.
matter. So what was
Uh-huh.
that I was doing? It was a
Ah,
self introspection for myself. That is where I written down whatever came to my, direct from my heart. I just jotted down those points, and how it is so important to crack an interview, because when we are there, we might be really academically sound as a person, but you might not be good at these so-called life
yeah,
skills. How confident you might look. How do you even walk into the room? How do you even start your conversation? Every
yeah,
small thing does add up to you. It might literally make or break your dream job, kind of make your dream, even your career, dream career for that matter. So that is where I felt, okay, this is what is really close to my heart and I really connect to it. So that's
mm,
how I changed my audience and, scripted in this way, art of cracking any interview. Yeah.
that's very nice, actually. Yes, because that is your that's a skill. That's a talent that you crack almost every interview. So you have to have a medium where you need to share your experiences and share your knowledge, so that it will be helpful for a lot of people. And yeah, I should appreciate you for that, for choosing book as a medium. That there is nothing like that. Book can reach a lot of audience. It's the most easiest way and the most perfect way of reaching a lot of people. And it's very much needed also, Pratibha, because interview is something we cannot call need of the hour, because it's a need of every time it's a need. It's never the need of the hour, it's always the need of every day. Yeah, so wonderful. Yeah.
Because for an academic exam, you can prepare and go. For an interview, you are not even sure how are the questions coming into you, and based on
Yes.
what you have been judged, or even you've been, kind of the points has been given. So a lot of factors are. That is where
Mm,
I've given that nine secrets. What exactly you need? It is just not these things. What we usually, but from childhood, that is what we used to think. Okay, this is what are
yeah,
things. If you're good at academics, I think we can pass through the interview like this in a jiff. But it is not
exactly.
case. Actually, there are a lot of factors, like simple as how good at your etiquettes, the basic manners, or we tend to, because of the breach of manners, if we are just take a seat without being asked for, that could
Yes,
make the interviewer think that, oh my god, she didn't even ask me, or she didn't even request me. So this might be very simple. It's not a rocket science, of course, but trust me, if we practice this day in and day out, the impact is bigger. So even that emotional
exactly.
intelligence, how are you prepared, and how are you prepared yourself and before the interview, the day of the interview, even the a day before interview, so day after the interview also, how is your mindset? Again, these days, we only work on the IQ level. What about the EQ thing, which actually is the major factor? And how good are
Mm.
we at managing our stress, and how good are we at setting goals? This is my first segment of my book too. So these are
Oh,
the things, a holistic approach. How do we present, how do we package, and how to be our best version for the interview? So that is where I have concentrated and divided into two different sectors, and this is my first sector is all about career foundation.
beautiful. Awesome. I just love to go through this book immediately. Because when I personally am doing few interviews, I used to think, what is uh, definitely, doing an interview, we will have some, the point where we need to, find that in that particular person. But then the other person have to be pretty careful, what the interviewer is looking into. And like you said, those few minutes will change your life. Yeah, so they need to be well prepared.
Very true, very true.
True, that first impression makes a difference.
Rightly said, rightly
Exactly.
said. Absolutely.
Yeah. So, what are the techniques presented in this book, Neha, that you have tried and tested yourself?
It's Pratibha. I guess you confused. You said Neha. Sorry, can you repeat that?
Pratibha. Oh, yeah. I mean, what are the techniques presented in this book that you have tried and tested yourself?
Okay, the same thing. All these nine secrets are completely tested on self personally. I've been from a long time. Maybe at that point of time, I didn't realize that. It was not consciously, I was aware. I would say that,
Yeah.
but I was doing it. But now, after getting through this, then I realized, okay, I was already doing it, but now I can be sure that at least in future generation, whoever is coming or whoever is trying to take up this particular interview or anywhere for that matter, they're going for the dream company, they'll be able to be true. They'll be very clear. Consciously, they can take the steps. How consciously they can be with respect to the simple as time management. Are you on time? Are you ahead of time? 15 to 20 minutes ahead of to the venue. It makes you so much confident and so much comfortable with the venue, because we always go to a new venue. How are we? Well, are we prioritizing the things? Are we procrastinating the things? All these things makes us give you a more clarity about the goal. And most of us here, again, we set a lot of goals, but are we really, setting a goal which is achievable? Again, those
Yeah.
smart goals, are we setting those things?
True.
So these are the all very minute things, or the very things which will play major role in you as in your life as such, and create
Mm.
that major impact. That I can be very sure on that part. So along with this nine checklist, if I have to say, that is first and foremost, how are you being prepared before interview, and even the after the interview, how do you react to the interviewer for that matter?
Mm.
And the
Mm.
second thing, as I said, it's all about the etiquettes part. So simple could be, how are you well dressed for that matter? People sometimes it's not always about getting dressed in a branded clothing or all
Mm.
made up done or something, not really that, but you should not be looking shabbily dressed. That will have an impact on the interviewer also. That shows that how seriously you're taken, and even it's a way of respecting the other person too. I strongly believe in that. And the next thing would be simple as managing time and the stress, because on the day of interview, if you feel stressed, it could be seen the way you talk, the way you converse. Even though you know the answers, or you know the things how to put it across, if you do not communicate it well, you're not there
Yeah.
again. You're not in the industry there again. So the
True.
next thing is emotional intelligence. As I said, how well or emotionally you are equipped, and you're sure. It's not. It's like we should go to an interview as a problem solver. I always believe in that, not as a job beggar. When you go with that approach, trust me, your body language, your communication, everything is communicated that way without your knowledge. Again, that happens subconsciously, but it will be
Yeah.
shown in your body language too. So these are the things. And next, I would say that that's for the professional advancement, the part two of my book, which I would say, most of us, the professionals who approach me, they come up with the same issue. I am well skilled, I am really good at my subject. It's not that something that I'm doing something, it's not of my passion. No, I'm doing out of my passion. I'm highly skilled, highly experienced, but still I'm not able to achieve what am I supposed to be, or haven't reached that position where am I supposed to be. This is the usual issue the professionals approach with me, the clients of mine. So that is where I say, how good are you at your presentation skills? How well are you able to present it to your higher ups for that matter? You're doing it, but are you presenting it appropriately is equally matters. And how well are you able to sell yourself to, it could be
Mm.
your manager, it could be to your client. How good are you at your negotiations to climb up that success ladder? Or it could be simple as, how can you delight your existing client? Because it's not about finding a new client every day in day out.
Yeah.
How well are you able to keep the client, kind of he's there always with you, he comes back again and again to you. And most importantly, above all, is about your leadership skills. How are you able to walk the talk? Because most of us, we say it, but if we are not walking the talk, trust me, we are not there for long term. So
Yeah.
all these things, these are the 9 checkpoints I can say, which is covered in my book called as Art of Cracking an Interview.
Beautiful. This is, the checklist system is very, very beautiful because, yeah, all the 9 points you have said is sounds very, very important, which is, yeah, you have cracked it so well. No wonder the title it was titled that way.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, very nice, very nice. Yes. Okay, so how many steps would one have to take in cracking an interview, Pratibha? Are there any? Do you consider them as steps, or how do you take it?
I think I summed up it the same way. If I have to repeat it again, the same thing. Like for an interview, there's no particular steps as such. I would say
Oh,
that it's all about the mindset. It's a game of a mindset. Trust me. What you think here, that is how you become. As you all
Yeah.
believe in visualization, how do you visualize yourself? If you think just before a day, you think that, oh my God, I'm going to miss on this huge opportunity. The huge opportunity has come in my hand. I should not ruin it. If you keep thinking of not ruining it, trust me, you ruin it. So it's about the mindset, the vocabulary you use, the self-talk you have, and even the people around you. How do they make you feel on that particular day? Because that will have an impact. If you have a very bad fight at home for some reason, your
Yes.
emotion, you're not feeling positive, and you feel that, oh, you're not worthy, or any such feeling at that point of time will have an impact. So I would say it's all about the mindset you go with to for that particular interview. That is where you'll be able to through, or you're going to stuck or be get stuck there. So I strongly believe it's all about the mindset you're going to have and go to that interview, particular interview, and make
Yeah.
sure you're there. It's just being and talking from heart matters actually. It's there is nothing like you're be prepared with some, kind of some content, and you feel that you're going to go and literally vomit it there. No, I don't think so. Do that. Because
Yeah.
you may ask you some various
Yeah.
questions that you haven't prepared for. So I always
Yes.
believe talking from heart will have an impact, and there will be a connect with even the employee and employer, and things will work positively for that particular person.
Yes. Very like rightly said, Pratibha. Actually, that's very true. Mindset is the key. Yeah. Like how you said, because yeah, somewhere it's very very connecting that we all, whenever we do something new, or whenever we meeting somebody new, and especially when attending an interview, that is, it's a big game changer in our lives. So fear is something that occupies the mind. So negativity is the first hit. Will I be able to crack this? Will I be able to speak confidently? Will I be able to do it? A lot of things come into mind. So we should rather work on the other way around, like how you said. It's about self talk with a positive mindset. So that's a wonderful takeaway from this conversation. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's a beautifully well said by Pratibha. So, whenever you are attending an interview, especially the younger generation, starting your career, so you go with a positive mindset. Never be tense, never be like overconfident either, and you just be confident and positive. Build a positive mindset that you're going to do it well. So, and like how she said, it is every minute thing is very very important. So you absolutely need a practice session before every interview to make it.
Yes, mock sessions are a must. We can make sure we sit with our friends and family and make them ask questions, and you be seriously answering the same. You don't have to make fun out of it or something because it's a mock session. You have to just face it as though you're doing it the real interview. Trust me, that will
Yes,
have a greater impact. And again, it will have an kind of an experience for you that how you're supposed to be there and how you're supposed to present yourself. Yeah, absolutely well
wonderful. That's
said.
that's a beautiful practice if we can do it, because we have to come out of that inhibition. A lot of us will have that inhibitions, built up in us. We just think what others think of us, kind of thing. So I think mock sessions would be a great way to actually practice. Yeah, wonderful. Okay, so what are some of the things that an individual shouldn't do? I mean, kind of do's and don'ts before they attend an interview.
Ah, yeah, that's a nice question. So, as we are freshers and we're getting going there, we usually accompany with our parents. So, I would say that let's not, you know, we have. I'm sure we all have done that in a way.
Yes,
I would
for
say that.
exams and for interviews and exams.
So let's avoid that. I mean, we're all grown up. We are going for a company's interview. We have been going to be employed there. So we have to show that independence and individuality, and let's behave accordingly. And it's not just about inside the interview room. Again, people think that okay, nobody is going to watch me from the entrance, but trust me, nowadays they are being viewed from the entrance. How are they even going to greet the front desk? How are you going to
Oh,
communicate with the front desk too? Yes, very much.
is
So
it?
people show this,
Okay.
yeah, kind of attitude while talking to the friend as, oh, I'm here for this kind of. Trust me, if you are not in a good terms with the even the front desk, they may even delay your interview because everything is in their hands. We may not know that. Yeah. They might sound polite only with the interviewee, and may not sound polite with others. Trust me, that doesn't work in that way. We should make that as a second nature, and not wearing anything very, even for that matter, if you're using any perfume, deodorants, not to having that very high perfume. Some people
Yeah.
might be allergic to it. These are the minute things. Or how well professionally you're dressed, not casually dressed, not wearing some chappals or some flip flops and all those things. Or even as that, carrying in your extra resume for that matter. And you might be thinking, I have already sent them online. Why do I have to carry? Trust me, you have to carry all the things, extra set of your, even your mask cards, your certifications, whatever you feel better to carry along with that. Because when they must be just cross checking with you, and might be just seeing that how are you, having a plan B ready for it. That could be also a tip. And they can even have some really crazy questions, that how many steps did you, climb and climb, so who you haven't counted, how well confidently you are able to answer,
Yeah.
sophisticated, diplomatically, those things. And it could be even writing how well is the resume has been shortlisted. Once you are there, I'm sure your resume is on point. That is why you've been invited. Again, a resume is like, it's like I would compare it to the online and offline thing. You see some people online, okay, you feel like, wow, they are so inspiring. It's so, whatever you felt, they might be beautiful, or they might be really inspiring. You might even sound look them, they may sound even very intelligent, but when you meet in person, you're suddenly like, oh my god, is this the same person, so please be careful. This is one of the biggest blunders, especially the freshers. We do, we write that this, we copy everything from different places resume, and we make our resume so powerful. That's well
Yeah.
and good, but are you the same person,
Mm.
when they meet?
Exactly.
Expectations should not just drastically drop down like this. There should be a connect who you are, and who's the resume talking about. It's just like your visiting card, for that
Yeah.
matter. So it's very essential. Just be yourself, even the objective what you've written. Uh, like, you have to mean it. And of
Yes.
course, no lies. If you've done an internship for 3 months, please mention the same. There are people, they'll just 6 months, nothing will happen, kind of, that is the attitude.
Yeah.
But rest of a lot of background check will go on, and that will be an, a big black mark on this thing. So you have to be very particular on all these things, and very clear
Yes.
with your objective, why you are there, what you're there. As I said, go as a problem solver, not as a job beggar. Keeping these few things in mind, I think you're well set for the interview.
Yeah, awesome. That was very, very, very well said, Pratibha, because very valid points. Because a lot of people, when you are, mentioning these points, somewhere even I thought, a lot of people will miss out for sure. Things like they don't because it's like how you said, bringing an extra copy of all your certificates. That is yeah, it's usually like because of this internet has taken over, the email thing has taken over, so it's like they take it easy, and that is one thing. And yeah, like how you said, other point, like every from the dressing to the presentation, it's like how they treat the French door person. Everything is being checked, so that's interesting. Yeah, true. True, because the HRs or the company is like trying to read your mind, read you. So it doesn't matter. They have different ways of doing it. So you have to be perfectly doing everything. So like you said, yes, open, honest communication, guys. That is going to be very, very, very important in whatever you do. Be open and honest in communication. So you are going to fall in pits if you yep, you never know what's in there. So
Just
you
be genuine, be authentic, be yourself.
yes,
Trust me, because that is
yeah,
what will run for you a long way. No need to pretend, no need to be someone else. You are going to be hired there. So being
yes.
authentic is the mantra, I can say that.
Yeah, true. The other point which you mentioned, Pratibha, also makes total sense. Like you have to literally speak your CV. Yeah, that's also wonderful because when I go through a lot of it, either the CV is beautiful or the person is beautiful. They don't match.
Very good. Yes, there is no sync. Very
There
well.
is no sync. So, ladies and so boys and girls, so this is also a very important point. I'm hearing for the first time. Yeah, that is very nice point. So it's a good book, I would say. I would definitely recommend for all of you. who are going to, attend the interview or start your careers, definitely pick this book from. Is it available on Amazon, Pratibha?
Yes, yes, it's
Yes,
available on Amazon, it's available on Kindle, everywhere it's available. Yeah,
good. So online readers is a good news for you. It's available on Kindle as well. So
true,
quickly go and grab it before you crack an interview. So you will have a mock with this book for sure.
true.
Okay. So how crucial is personal branding for one's career growth, Pratibha? What's your take on that?
Yes, again, we believe, we agree, we disagree. We already are a brand. We are born as a brand, but most of us are still trying to accept it, trying to kind of, neglect it. Hello, I don't need that. I'm already doing well. I am already in that position. You might feel that, but trust me, it's always better to brand yourself. If you do not, people will brand you. Simple as that. So it's always better you brand yourself, however you wish to be projected. So if you
Yeah.
deny it and if you say that, hello, as a corporate, as in corporate profession, do I really need that? Yes, again, because we have cutthroat competition, any industry for that matter. You can just name any industry. We have so much of competition. If you're just good at one particular thing, if you do not have a holistic approach to anything, then you may not be able to climb the success ladder. There exactly you feel you might get an entry in an organization, no doubt. You might even start working, you might start even earning. But if you feel that when you are projecting yourself as a brand, that is where you'll get the massive success. If you're really looking forward for that, then branding yourself, presenting the authentic self. Of course, again, the same thing. I would like to kind of insist on that, being authentic at the same time by bringing out that best version, which is very important. We all have been gifted with so many things from naturally, but identifying is this is what I am, then bringing out that best version is very important. That is where branding come into picture. It will bridge that gap between who you are and what others perceive you as. Many a times who you are and what others perceive is it's different. Sometimes you might not be
Correct.
able to connect then, and you will be always wondering, I am not that
Mm,
person, why is this? That
mm,
is where you are projected yourself. That's how people have branded you. Or if so, it's better to brand yourself and project yourself, the authentic self, so that people will be able to recognize you for your values and your perception and your concepts and your thoughts. So that is where it's
mm.
very important to brand yourself. That is where you'll be able to position yourself and you'll be able to reach greater heights, I would say that.
Wonderful. I just love this point. The best takeaway for me when it comes to the conversation we had so far. For me, this is the best takeaway, Pratibha. I just loved it when you said, we should actually, yeah, everybody is a brand of their own for sure. Yes, but then we never actually, how others perceive is very different. Like what we actually, are in true sense. So that is way too important to balance that. So I just love it. So that makes total sense. Though it's like it fits in a line, but yeah. So that builds your total life actually.
True.
Very 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 beautiful point. Loved it.
Thank
Yeah. Okay. So what's the biggest benefit somebody can get by reading this book?
Okay, so I would say that, especially as I already told you, I have a first segment and second segment, two different parts for that matter. So by reading my book, I can kind of claim that usually as a corporate professional, when I started my career, I had at least a decade of experience working for MNCs before getting into this trainer as a coach or so. So I know the nuisance, what all I went through and what all the mistakes I did for that matter. This is the common set of mistakes. Trust me, each one of us, one other thing would have surely ended up doing it. So I would say that by reading my book, that will make you be aware consciously, especially consciously, I would say, because subconsciously we might be aware, but we may not be giving importance to it when we are subconsciously aware. So consciously we can take steps and avoid this common set of mistakes and save us first 5 years. Actually, we in first 5 years we are busy doing the same mistakes, getting
Mm,
up and redoing something else. So I always say this to my clients too, by attending my 10 days program too, which is I'm doing online as well as offline, which will save your first 5 precious years of your corporate life. If you want to really save it, not doing the same set of common mistakes. If somebody has already done that, let's learn from it. You don't
yeah.
have to repeat the same set of mistakes or rather same set
Exactly.
of blunders. I can also use that word. So we all do that. So yeah, I feel by reading my book or attending my course in depth will, and especially taking action, again, knowing is not doing and doing is not knowing, kind of thing.
Yes.
So we have to do if we are aware of it, because we all of us know, for example, even have to give diet, we all know we should not eat junk food, we should eat that, we should eat raw food, vegetables, everybody know it. How many of us are really kind of taking it as action and being consistent about that? That is where the change comes into picture. The same thing applies to my course too. So when I say, it might sound, yeah, yeah, that's nice, she's saying right, yes, she's saying right,
Mm.
that's fine. Are you applying it? Are you taking one step in your day-to-day life? Just one thing. I would
Yeah,
say that end of my session, I always ask this to my clients. Can you just tell me one thing which you're going to kind of apply that in your day-to-day life immediately, not even tomorrow. Trust me,
yeah.
tomorrow is never come. That tomorrow will always come. I'll do that next week. No.
Yes.
So if you're ready to take action and apply that particular thing, if whichever you are in sync, because I might give you hundreds of tips in that my
Yes.
session, I do agree each one of us may not resonate with me or may not agree with me too. It's fine to agree to disagree. I'm absolutely fine with it. So I say, if you can even agree with me for a single point, can you apply it immediately? You will see the changes. Simple as affirmation, simple as gratitude, simple as visualization. All these things are part of my program. So I always say, this might sound like, will this even work? Kind of, yes, yes, you have to apply and see, and you will get back to me after at least a month or so, because yeah, everyone has the time period. I cannot promise that within a week you can see that miracle
Yeah,
happening. It might take few months, few weeks. However, it depends on you as a person, how much you believe in that.
exactly.
So that's how I always say that. Yeah, hope I answered that question. Did I?
Oh, yes, definitely. Yeah, you have been like, literally cracking it. Whatever is there in our minds, what are the doubts we have, you are literally cracking it in this half an hour session. So, yes, so lots of things have been cleared, Pratibha. It was so wonderful, having, this wonderful conversation. So there are a lot of takeaways, as I said, and like how you have ended this. It's yeah, because every session we will have lots and lots of takeaways because you guys have done lots of research and you have gone through a lot of experiences and you have put all together in a beautiful way to the audience. But at the end of the day, it's like an instant rush for everybody. Yes, this is it's like wow, loved it kind of thing. But then once once we go home and then switch on the TV, everything is gone, so back to normal.
Absolutely. Very true. And they
Yes.
finally say that I didn't get any results. How will you get results?
Yeah, definitely. How do we get
Nothing
results when we
changes.
don't? Yeah. So there's the two things I would like to say for the people who are watching us live here. So like how Pratibha said, taking an action is very, very important. And what I would like to say to all of you is that so there are two ways. One is the toughest way, one is the smartest way. Smartest way is to learn from the experiences of others, and toughest way is you experiencing it yourself. So that may take a long way to success. And this is the shortcut, learn through others' experiences, and that's the smartest way. So put what all you have learned into action. So and nothing can stop you. You know, take those positive affirmations. Yeah, put a right mindset and be consistent in what you do. But before everything happens, you have to take that first step. So, like how Pratibha said, thank you so much for such valuable inputs, Pratibha. We just loved it. I just loved every question, every answer that went in through the session today. And yeah, I'm sure the audience also loved it so much. And whoever is watching us live, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for giving us your time. And before we close this off, Pratibha, I would like to ask you one liner, a quick liner, if you want to say, or if you want to suggest to any of the younger generation, especially who are ready to step into the corporate world. So, what is that one sentence you would like to give them?
Okay, I would like to give it in a single word answer. It's nothing but ikigai, I would say that. I'm sure this is a
Ah,
popular word. If you think it's your ikigai, like if you are good at something, you love to do what you're doing, and if world needs it and you're paid for it, trust me, that's the best thing to do. Just remember this, is that your ikigai? If you're able to crack that, trust me, you are settled for your life. I strongly believe in that, though I realize it pretty late, but I feel this is the one of the wonderful point. If you are an youngster, if you're stepping in, just keep this in mind. If you find your kigai, go ahead with that and listen to your inner voice. That will always direct you to the right place.
Wonderful, wonderful. On the beautiful note, thank you so much, Pratibha. I just loved it. Thank you. Thank you so much for being with us today and sharing all the knowledge and the experiences you have through these beautiful words of yours and from this a beautiful book of yours. Actually, literature has no limits. Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank
And
you so much. It was so wonderful moderating the entire show. I didn't feel that it is already 40 minutes. I felt as though I know you personally. I was so casual and in conversing with you. Thank you for this giving me a wonderful platform and sharing my views. Thank you for that.
thank you. Thank you, Pratibha. We're grateful to all of you. Thank you so much. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's it for our session today. And we all see you again next week with another great author and another great book. Thank you so much. See you all. Take care. Bye bye.